I'm a veteran, and I still have nightmares from my first deployment. I've been severely depressed for 2 years. When I go in to get help, I get assigned a new specialist and have to explain what happened again and again. I've tried every medication. I've tried group therapy, but not been allowed to speak about my experience because it might be too traumatic for the rest of the group to hear. I'm so tired. This whole experience is exhausting, and sometimes it all just feels pointless. I feel so isolated and hopeless. I've been right up to the very edge of suicide multiple times.
Mental health in the military is in free fall. U.S. soldiers and veterans are twice as likely to commit suicide compared to civilians. It's getting worse each year no matter how you look at it. Even after we adjust for things like the different age and sex distributions between the two populations, the result's the same. We haven't seen this rate of suicide since the Great Depression. The effect overall, across the board for military families, is that all mental health issues just hit harder. Consider this, when military women give birth, they're more likely to develop postpartum depression, and when they do, 42 times more likely for that to lead to suicidal ideation. This isn't a niche problem. There are some 46 million people between active US military personnel, veterans, and their families. That's 1 in 10 people in the US. Despite the clear and urgent need for increased access to mental health care, less than half of military families are able to book an appointment with a therapist. There's just a massive shortage of therapists everywhere. The US has less than 60% of the therapists they need to meet the demand of people looking for help. Of those available, less than half accept any insurance at all, and only a teeny tiny fraction of those accept TRICARE. That's the insurance the military provides. TRICARE and the DoD are desperate for more therapists, but the problem is that about a third of TRICARE beneficiaries live in mental health dead zones. Those are areas where there's less than 1 therapist per 30,000 people. That's like saying that the town I grew up in had 1, maybe 2 therapists for the whole city. And that's not even a small town. When you look at military bases themselves, most are located in the very same dead zones. And even the bigger ones that are more well off and have better services don't have enough providers. Waitlists of 3 or 6 or even 9 months are typical. There are these telehealth platforms, apps that have sprung up in the last few years to bridge the gap in these areas, but they either don't take insurance or have totally priced out military families who can't afford $400 a month for a subscription service. These services just don't understand enough about military life and therefore aren't able to provide effective care. Look, I think the state we found ourselves in is just shameful. The most prosperous nation in history is failing to take care of our own, much less the men and women who have given it all. They deserve better, we can do better, and so we will.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm the founder and CEO of Swell, a mental health platform for the military. I've struggled with my own mental health too. When I was in the 9th grade, I developed severe OCD. It kept me from doing a lot of the things I wanted to do and ultimately led to me finishing the rest of that school year at home. I knew something needed to change, but we didn't have health insurance or money to find help. We did, however, have the internet. So I researched my symptoms and started treating myself with meditation and a form of cognitive behavioral therapy I found called ERP. It was near curative for me and was the spark for the idea that would one day become Swell. Fast forward, I started my career in social work and saw firsthand how difficult it is for people to access the mental health resources we have and how too late so many of those resources are. It is really hard to treat underlying mental health issues when your kids have been removed from your home and you're battling addiction and poverty. After a couple of years in social work, I eventually moved into tech, where I learned the operational and technical skills required to build something that could scale beyond the impact that I could have one-on-one. I started Swell because I know what it's like to struggle with my own mental health and not have access to treatment. And I know exactly how we can make this better. Swell is the first of its kind mental health platform. We help families connect with TRICARE-approved therapists through our mobile app that manages intake, booking, sessions, and therapy homework. We do the work to find therapists who are a fit for the military community, and then we get them certified and networked with TRICARE. All of our therapists practice skills-based therapy, and they're all vetted by both clinical experts and military spouses. We believe this, plus our honest and transparent therapist profiles, is why nearly all of our clients match with a therapist who they connect with on their first try. Therapy at Swell is always free for active duty. We don't have a waitlist for therapy, and we're doing everything in our power to make sure we never do. How? By treating our therapists better.
Popular subscription services pay therapists about $20 to $30 an hour. Our therapists make a lot more. Full-time therapists at Swell earn even more than they would in a private group practice. We manage all the billing, marketing, administrative, and back office work so that our therapists are able to really focus on what they love most, working directly with clients. Our therapist platform is built hand in hand with therapists, not just engineers. We have many features that help improve the role of therapists and features that help them to track and work collaboratively with their clients, like in-app homework assignments, ongoing progress tracking, client goal reminders, and more. Our commitment to building software that actually improves client outcomes means that our clients have a more successful therapy experience on the Swell platform than if they were off of it. Medical care, including mental health care, is expensive. If you can afford to pay $400 or $500 a month out of pocket for therapy, you have a lot of options. But what about anyone who's not wealthy or not in the upper middle class? What about the majority of military families who bring home less than $35,000 per year? Swell's platform provides a more equitable and fulfilling opportunity for the tens of thousands of therapists that have a choice about who they serve. We are dedicated to making therapy a better experience for our therapists and for our clients.
What do military families think of Swell?
Hi, my name is Amber and I'm a military spouse. As someone who's also been in therapy on and off since 2015 for various reasons, I love Swell. I love it so much I decided to come and work for them. Part of my role initially at Swell was to interview military spouses to learn if mental health care really does need to be improved for military families. One of the women I spoke to in our interview phase said she had contacted 56 different therapists before she found someone who would finally accept TRICARE and didn't have a 6-month wait list. She went on vacation, came back, went to her first appointment, only to find out that that provider had since stopped accepting TRICARE. So she was back at square one. My heart broke as she was talking about this, just because she was trying so hard and so desperate for help. I know personally I would have given up long before calling 56 people. The ability to be able to find a therapist who accepts TRICARE and doesn't have a 6-month wait list from the comfort of my own home, simply through scrolling through an app, sounds incredible. And I'm so hopeful that by the time we move to our next duty station, Swell will have already launched in that place.
We've built a therapy platform for the military that's paid for by TRICARE, making access easier than it's ever been. And we launched it to our first military base this year. Now, any service member or military spouse in Tennessee or Kentucky who wants to start therapy can sign up and choose a TRICARE approved therapist through Swell. Everything we've learned through our community so far tells us the path we're on is right. We've grown more than 8x since we launched in January, averaged 49% month-over-month sign-up growth, and we're tracking towards a $2.3 million annual run rate in the next 12 months. Right now, we're scaling to more families in Fort Campbell and beyond. But we learned early in the discovery phase of Swell that the right way to address the roots of the mental health crisis is through a solution that can scale beyond the current limitation of therapists. That's why we're rolling out our self-guided therapy app next. This was inspired by my own experience treating my OCD and by the experiences of so many others who have found success in building skills independently. We're designing this product hand in hand with our licensed clinical therapists. Our vision is to both help people sooner in their journey to better mental health and to bridge the gap for people who live in areas where we don't have coverage yet. And this is just the beginning. The future of Swell is a comprehensive platform that meets you where you are. This means not only providing treatment for people who are struggling now, but preventative programs that help young people build psychological resilience sooner.